Last week on Thunder, the crazy cat and the Prowler machine just barely edged out Son Uva Digger in our final round. He's looking to hold on to that checkered flag as we get set to close out the August season of Thursday Night Thunder. Is the Prowler machine going to remain on top, or are we going to crown a new champion? Welcome to Thursday Night Thunder, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Steve Jones, and tonight we close out the August season, and which is going to be a knockdown, drag-out brawl. I can guarantee you that, because 16 of MTA's best monster truck superstars, they're looking to throw it all on the line right here tonight to close out the August season. There's your current champion. That's Jason Wilkin, the Prowler machine, and he's looking to stay on top as we get set to kick things off in round one action. Up first, you see the Black Stain Ford set to take on Donkey Kong. That's going to be followed by Son Uva Digger taking on the Dragon Ice machine out of the Maximum Motorsports race camp. And up first, we've got Blake Willis out of Hagerstown, Maryland, in that Black Stain Ford. He hasn't been running so hot all season long. He's in it for the points here tonight as we close out the August season. But over in the near lane, that's that wicked fast Donkey Kong machine, Braden Varga behind the wheel. Both trucks staged at the line as we close out the August season of Thunder as we go green. Down the straight stretch now, Donkey pulling a huge lead on him up and over the cars, and Donkey Kong moves on to round number two. Blake Willis in the Black Stain Ford gets crossed up in no man's land. He's hanging out on the buses. He's on the trailer for the night. And up next in round one, we've got Donald Price Jr. returning, and Son Uva Digger, three-time Thursday Night Thunder champion out of Poplar Branch, North Carolina, turned it over in week one of the August season. But there you see in the near lane, that's Justin Lamb. This kid's making a name for himself out here on the Thunder circuit, representing the Maximum Motorsports race team. Stage now as we go green. Down the straight stretch, Son Uva Digger with a slight lead. Dragon's in trouble, turns it over, and I believe Son Uva Digger may have gotten the win. We're going to head down now and over to an MTA replay. I do believe Son Uva Digger did get the win. You see him coming down that straight stretch. Sud in the far lane with a slight lead. Dragon Ice with some big air. Gets fumbled up here in no man's land over the cars. Rocked up and rolled over. They did declare Son Uva Digger as the winner. The MTA track crew and officials are down there now. Look at that margin of victory in our photo finish. Son Uva Digger does take the win. As you see the crew and officials down there now, they're going to flip Dragon Ice back over. And what a way to close out the August season of Thunder. That truck has been torn to pieces out here. He was giving it all he had to chase down Son Uva Digger, but now the problem is they have to get that truck ready, because in 2 days, the Summer Heat Shootout is coming to town, and they have got to get that truck back to 100% and hopefully perform well at the Summer Heat Shootout. Up next here in round one action, we see Richard Nelson II out of Tampa, Florida, in that Digger's Diecast Megalodon. But over in the far lane, Jeffrey Skipper out of the Johnson Motorsports race team. He's rocking and rolling with that West Virginia Mountaineer. Both trucks staged at the line. Who moves on to round two action as we go green? Down the straight stretch now, Megalodon hanging with them up and over the cars, and what a race! As they both come across the finish line almost at the same time, but Mountaineer does pick up the win. And up next here in our round one matchups, Greg Durbin returns in the Saigon Shaker. He is your current overall points leader and a former three-time Thunder champion. But over here in the near lane, the leader of the Maximum Motorsports race team, that's Bradley Graham and Goldberg. Former five-time Thunder champion, 8 titles between the two. Who moves on to round two action as we go green? Down the straight stretch now, Goldberg pulling a lead on him up and over the cars, and Bradley Graham and Goldberg sweep out the win from underneath the Saigon Shaker. That's going to hurt him in points, but Goldberg does move on, however. Up next in round one, we've got returning James Valancourt, and look at the credentials he's got on his plate. Full throttle champion, redemption champion, and a three-time Thunder champion in that Liquidator Ford. And here's Johnny Retlaw over in the near lane. Hasn't had much luck in that brand new grinder machine. He's looking to turn it around right here as we close out the August season. Staged as we go green down the straight stretch now. Both trucks looking even through no man's land, and Grinder gets crossed up, and it's all James Valancourt and Liquidator. He moves on to round two action. Johnny Retlaw and the Grinder crew have got some work to do to get that truck back and dialed in. Up next here, we've got Matthew Riley returning. Last year's Summer Heat Shootout champion, formerly driving the Sobey Chevrolet, now pilots the Crazy Bull El Toro Loco. But in the near lane, it's your boy Shaggy and Grave Digger the Legend out of Poplar Branch, North Carolina. El Toro Loco, Legend now as we go green. Down the straight stretch, they're looking even through no man's land, and a wild ride for the Legend. But it's all Matthew Riley and El Toro Loco. He picks up the win. A slight bobble, little too much loud pedal for the Legend. He's on the trailer for the night. And up next, Lee Bailey in the Barefoot Dodge out of Pontoon Beach, Illinois. One-time Thunder champion. He wants to put that Dodge in victory lane as we close out the August season. But there you see Aaron Church in the Gravedigger out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. And a Dodge versus Chevrolet matchup here in round one action. Stage now as we get set to go green. Down the straight stretch, both of them looking even through no man's land, and Bailey was hanging with him. He lost it there in the shutdown area. Aaron Church and the Gravedigger will pick up the win. He lost it there. We're going down to an MTA replay. Look at him down the straight. Barefoot actually had a slight lead on the Gravedigger. Look at the air by Barefoot. Lost it right there on that last set of cars, and that was just enough for Gravedigger to pick up the win. Next up, we've got returning champion Jason Wook and the Prowler machine, now a one-time Thursday Night Thunder champion. But over in that far lane, five-time Thunder champion, that's Mitch Brown out of Pacific, Missouri, and Bigfoot. He wants that flag back more than anybody here tonight. Can he knock off Prowler in round one, and can his reign as champion early? Bigfoot, Prowler now as we go green. Off to a good start by both trucks. Prowler pulling the lead on him. Bigfoot trying to play catch-up. And Jason Wook and Prowler is letting you know he's here to stay because he's moving on to round two. Bigfoot's going home on the trailer. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're taking you back down to the pit area. It's Summer Heat Shootout in jeopardy for the Dragon Ice Machine. We are going down to the pit area now. And as you can see, the Dragon Ice Machine has been completely torn apart. He was trying to chase down Son Uva Digger in round one action. Definitely gave it all he had. That Dragon Ice is a top contender out here, no doubt about it. The crew's got some thrashing to do. They're hoping to get a brand new body on it. They're going to inspect the truck, make sure it's up to specs for the Summer Heat Shootout because the MTA officials will go over it with the team. However, Dragon Ice is in jeopardy. As we move on to round two action, up first you see Donkey Kong taking on Son Uva Digger, followed by Mountaineer taking on Goldberg. That one ought to be a barn burner. And up first here in round two, here's Braden Varga returning in the bad fast Donkey Kong machine. But he's got a tough task because in that far lane, there you see him, Donald Price Jr. and Son Uva Digger out of Poplar Branch, North Carolina. You saw what he done to Dragon Ice because he was running them hard. Who's moving on to semifinals as we close out the August season of Thunder? As we go green, both trucks hard off the line. Donkey's hanging with him through no man's land. And whoa, my, what a race across the line there. And we aren't sure who picked up the win. We're going to go to an MTA replay as we wait for an official review. You see them both hard out of the hole, going down the straight stretch. Donkey Kong actually has a slight lead on him. Son in the far lane trying to play catch-up. And right there you see Donkey Kong will edge out Son Uva Digger. He moves on to the semifinals. Up next here in round two action, we've got Bradley Graham returning in Goldberg, five-time Thunder champion. Over in the far lane, though, is Jeffrey Skipper in that West Virginia Mountaineer. These guys have been battling it out all season long, and this one is definitely for bragging rights. West Virginia Mountaineer in the far lane, Goldberg in the near lane. Semifinals in jeopardy as we go green. Down the straight stretch, they're looking even through no man's land. Goldberg's out of shape, and what a save by Mountaineer. That was a lot of stuff going on in one race. You see these guys right here. Look, Goldberg is way out of shape, but watch Mountaineer in the shutdown area. Hits the bus stack and drives it out. What a save by Jeffrey Skipper and the Mountaineer machine. And up next here in round two action, James Valencourt returning in the Liquidator Ford. He's been pretty consistent for the last few weeks. He wants to put the big bad Liquidator on top out of the K&J Racing Camp. But in that near lane, there's the Crazy Bull and last year's Summer Heat Shootout champion Matthew Riley behind the wheel. He's looking to come out on top to close out the August season. Both trucks stays at the line as we get set to go green. Down the straight stretch, Liquidator got him off the hole. El Toro Loco coming back on him, but Liquidator takes the win. El Toro Loco is in the wall. Tough break for Matthew Riley and the El Toro Loco. Liquidator, however, moves on to semis, and now as we close out round two action, Aaron Church returning in the Gravedigger. He would want nothing more than to knock off the champion here tonight and move on to semifinals. But over in that far lane is that checkered flag holder, Jason Wook in the Prowler machine, and he's not going to make it easy for the Gravedigger. Who moves on to semifinals? Prowler or Gravedigger? Stage now as we go green. Prowler gets him off the line. Gravedigger trying to play catch up, and wow, look out! Oh my! Oh, look out! Aaron Church is upside down trying to chase down the Prowler machine. Look at this. Prowler had the lead on him down the straight stretch. Gravedigger trying to play catch up. Look at it, he launched off that first jump and came back, swooped the win from Prowler. but it cost him. He rolled the truck over. A hard crash for Team Gravedigger. They do knock off the Prowler machine. Track crew and officials are down there now. As you see the damage done, Team Gravedigger is going to have their hands full if they plan on coming back for the semis, if they can. If they cannot make the call, that means Prowler will come back and still rightfully hold that checkered flag. Team Gravedigger has got a lot of work to do if they plan on bringing that panel truck back to the line. Unbelievable race. He came back and swooped the win from Prowler. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed round 2 action, because up next we go semifinal racing. We'll be right back after the break, and hopefully Team Gravedigger can get their nuts and bolts tight and come back as well. Welcome back to Thunder as we get set to kick off semifinal action. Donkey Kong set to take on the West Virginia Mountaineer. And folks, I gotta be honest, Donkey Kong has not run strong all season long, but he finds himself in the semis. But over in that far lane, returning Jeffrey Skipper, West Virginia Mountaineer, he is making a name for himself and that truck out of the Johnson Motorsports race team. Both trucks are staged at the line. Only one moves on to the finals. Mountaineer Donkey Kong, as we go green down the straight stretch, we're looking even up through no man's land, and Mountaineer's in trouble, turns it over. He had it out for Donkey Kong, and he made sure he stomped on that loud pedal and pulled it out. He got on 2 wheels in the last round, saved it, but this time he wasn't so lucky. You see him right here in the MTA replay. Sick air by both trucks. Mountaineer letting it all hang out, clips the buses again, tried to save it. This time he turns it over. However, he is in the final round. And up next in our semifinal matchups, James Valancourt returns in the Liquidator Ford. He's been running strong and consistent all night long, but in the far lane, Team Gravedigger has got the truck back together. We are not sure if they're at 100% or if the truck is even strong enough, but they're going to let it all hang out right here in the semis against Liquidator. Both trucks staged at the line as we go green down the straight stretch now. Gravedigger pulling him off the straight, up and over the cars, and Gravedigger, Aaron Church, takes the win in this semifinal round matchup. And a tough break for the Liquidator team. I don't know if something broke on that truck, but however, they are on the trailer. And ladies and gentlemen, we're taking you down now to the Maximum Motorsports garage. There you see the brand new USA 1, which debuted at the All-American Throwdown. But remember Blake Willis from round 1 in Blackstone? He is joining the Maximum Motorsports race team, and that right there is going to be his brand new ride, the awesome-looking Predator machine, now a new member of the Maximum Motorsports race camp. As we move on to the finals here on Thursday Night Thunder, as well as closing out the August season. Who takes the checkered flag into the September season? Gravedigger turned it over in round 2 action. The crews thrashed and got him back, looking strong in semis. However, in the far lane, Jeffrey Skipper and the West Virginia Mountaineer, they rolled the truck over in last round, the semis, and they have got it back together. A whole lot of mess going on to close out the August season. Who's taking home the checkered flag? Mountaineer, Gravedigger. It's showtime here on Thunder down the straight stretch. Mountaineer with the lead. Gravedigger trying to come back. And what a race as we close out the August season. I don't know who picked up the win. We will go down to an MTA replay for review and see who does take the flag into the September season. Hard off the line for both trucks. There you see Mountaineer with a slight lead in the far lane. Gravedigger laying it down. Both of them out of shape and on the outside of the track. And as you see by our photo finish, Gravedigger is your winner by merely inches. And after a long, hard-fought battle for the August season, and for the first time in his MTA career, your Thursday Night Thunder champion, and going on to the September season with the checkered flag, congratulations to Aaron Church in the Gravedigger. And now as we close out the August season, looking at the overall points at the latter half of the bracket, Black Stallion, Grinder, and Barefoot holding the gate closed with 20 points, followed by Donkey Kong with 25. And then at the top half of the bracket, with tonight's win, puts him 3 points above the Saigon Shaker, who led the overall point series all season long. Aaron Church and the Grave Digger claimed the overall points championship by 3 points to close out the August season, as well as a one-time Thunder victory. And ladies and gentlemen, I've had a blast this August season. These guys came out, laid down a heck of a show, tore up a lot of equipment, but we're going to see you Saturday for the Summer Heat Shootout. Be sure to crush that subscribe button, and I'll catch you down the road. See you next week.
Standing tall up in victory lane, I done brought the pain and now they screaming my name. Yeah, everybody saw me rock the place. Now there's flashbulbs are popping and mics in my face. Always giving the crowd what they need. Now they're wearing my shirts front row to nosebleed. Now the crowd forms is what it's all about. Signing autographs until the lights out. Yeah, it's about that. It's about that. It's been a long time.